got a secret, can you keep it sweet?
Hello, my name is IreyonKeithAmaraPHampton, and my partner and I, Iron Keith, are doing our video which we have titled The Power of Love. In our video, we will be focusing mainly on two scenes. One scene comes from a very popular TV show that we all know and love called Scandal, and the other comes from a famous book based off of the relationship or scandal between our third American president, Thomas Jefferson, and his mistress and slave, Sally Hemings. By observing the relationship portrayed in Scandal and the relationship portrayed in Sally Hemings, we plan to develop a better understanding of how the different gender roles, race, and power roles affected these relationships. In order to make these analyzations, we had to go find some very good sources. Our 5 sources all helped us to gain a better understanding of how to analyze and interpret what we were reading and seeing. We used the book Sally Hemings by Barbara Chase Royd, who was an artist, a poet, and a writer, to give us the actual overall story of Sally Hemings and Thomas Jefferson. We also used one of the readings in class called Communication of Gender, Diversity, and Critical Approach by Sandra Lipschitz-Bem and Gillian, which gave us a different way of looking at the situation and the TV show and understanding different viewpoints based on different perspectives. And finally, we used another class reading called The Feminist Criticism, whose author is unknown but still credited. And we basically used a lot of this author's work, which was almost like a collection of different scholars, to base our analyzations with logic and a lot of good points that were made in the chapter. In the book, it gives you a little bit of details after Sally and Jefferson sort of have their relations, in which she's sort of reminiscing about a man who sort of was trying to gain her favor. And she realizes that in that moment directly after, that she no longer will be able to be with that man anymore, because now she belongs to Jefferson in body. And I know people are like, well, she's a slave, so she already belonged to him in body. But what I mean is now sexually she knows that she cannot be touched by another man for fear of angering Jefferson. So in the movie, they try to touch on that subject by having a male friend in the house when she's in Paris who's sort of like, get out of the room, don't go in there, don't stay in there too long. And she sort of ignores him and tells him to go away, which is their way in the movie of sort of expressing the fact that she's decided that she has to be with Jefferson versus the man who was trying to gain her favor before Jefferson. So in a way, Jefferson's mere presence is like powerful enough to make her change her entire perspective on what she originally desired in a man before she encountered him. In the book, she actually waits for Jefferson and sort of, I guess, demands that he come and like see her or claim her. And she, once he does in fact come in and try to claim her, once she's already in his chamber,
it's a lot. This whole Billy Chambers thing. And having to deal with Hollis.
He's not so bad. Not really.
Liv?
We'll fix this defiance thing, and you'll run again, and you'll win. And I want that. I want that for you. It's just, I let myself believe the waiting was over, and now...
The waiting?
4 more years is going to be difficult. I'll be fine. It's just... It's going to be difficult.
We're not waiting 4 more years to be together. We're going to be together now. Livy, I'm running. I'm winning. We're getting married, and you are moving into the White House with me.
Pitts? Okay. There's a million reasons why that's a non-starter.
Here we go.
Are you seriously going to stand here and suggest that divorcing your wife and moving me into the White House in the midst of an election is not a tiny bit of a problem?
It's a problem.
Clearly.
So fix it.
Funny. You're a funny man. You should quit your job. Go on the road.
What are you always saying? That you're brilliant? That you're the best? Better than my boys in the White House? So, do what you do best. Fix it. Handle it.
I thought you didn't want me fixing you.
I don't need fixing. I'm fine. I love you. The American public needs fixing. They love Melly. They're the ones with the problem. So come up with a plan to solve it.
You want me to come up with a plan?
Olivia Pope. Use your superpower.
Stop. We can't. Someone will come in. Ed, what are you doing?
Using my superpower.
How are men, women, masculine, feminine depicted in the artifact? Well, in Scandal, episode 22, season 2, is when Fitz and Olivia are in the private room talking, and Fitz uses his power as president to use it over Olivia. And what he tells her, I've been waiting 4 years for us to get together, and we're gonna get together now. And when him getting loud and saying now, that means he's using his power and saying that he's demanding her to be with him. And on the source feminine criticism, he uses patriarchy, and he uses it with a definition by saying it is a system of powers relations in which men dominate over women. Well, that shows in the episode how Fitz is trying to use his control over Olivia. How is power exercised in this artifact? Through communication. Well, Fitz uses his power throughout the whole conversation. And while they're talking, Olivia, after him saying that they need to be together now, Olivia says back to him, "You're seriously going to suggest by divorcing your wife and move me in the White House in the mix of an election isn't a problem." And what the crazy thing about him, while she was saying that, is he was very calm about that. He really didn't care. He just wanted to be with her. And his only response really was, "So fix it." Well, in that I saw that he wanted her to do everything to fix the problem that he was about to cause. And since he's the president and over the free world, he think he can just tell anybody to do anything he says. This is the conclusion, and I just saw how we talked about Sally and Jefferson and Olivia and Fitz and Jefferson being the president, and Olivia and Sally being the mistress, and how in these two couples, the men were using their power over their lover. And also in the video, we had how gender is constructed, power is exercised, and intersectionality, and the definition of patriarchy. And a question to end the conclusion off with is, how is it possible for white men of power and black women to maintain a romantic relationship? Well, they both have to be fully committed to the relationship to be in love anyway. But they really have to get past family criticism, because most people in their family doesn't like them dating another race. And the couple has to get past the criticism from the family. And you really don't see white men and black women dating, but you see black men and white women dating. So it's a big difference for society. And society has a lot of criticism towards anybody dating like a different race, especially how it is now.